The Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Charles Lejano. The UP Pandemic Response Team is ringing alarm bells on the, quote, alarming rate of spread of COVID-19 in certain regions. Professor Jomar Rabahante of the UP Pandemic Response Team says they are closely watching the rate of COVID spread in Central Luzon and Calabarzon. Speaking with the chiefs, Rabahante also said that he supports the idea of border control to prevent the spread of COVID-19 from NCR to other regions.
Doon sa Region 3 and Region 4A, definitely nandun tayo talaga sa alarm, no? Kasi nalampasan na ng Region 3 and Region 4A yung Delta surge natin noong September. So halos yung NCR, Region 3, Region 4A nasa the same page, no? Kung titingnan natin yung ibang mga regions, nandun pa sila sa hindi pa lumalampas as the Delta surge.
The government has started to impose purchase limits on basic medicines to avoid hoarding. But some drugstores still haven't received fresh supply of such medicines. JC Cosico has the details.
Alexis Candelaria bought 10 pieces of paracetamol in this drugstore in Quiapo. Thankfully, there were stocks. Before, it took him days to buy one.
In case na nagkasakit sila, may gamot na po kami.
The government has imposed a purchase limit on flu medicines like paracetamol. Under Joint Memorandum Circular 22-01 of the Health and Trade Departments, an individual can only buy up to 20 tablets of paracetamol or 60 tablets per household. Paracetamol syrups or suspension, meanwhile, can be bought at a maximum of 5 bottles per individual and 10 per household. The same cap applies for cough medicine, carbocysteine, and other related drugs. Online selling of flu drugs is also prohibited unless permitted by the Food and Drug Administration. With this, the TTI assures that there's no shortage in supply of the mentioned medicines. The limit is just in place to avoid hoarding.
Kailangan i-limit natin siya para siguradong lahat ng bibili sa isang particular drugstore ay makakabili.
Violators can be imprisoned for up to 10 years with corresponding fines as well for stores selling excessively to one customer. DTI also said inspectors are roaming every day to monitor the situation on the ground. This was a welcome development to some consumers.
Kasi iba kasi nag-hoard lang naman sila pero wala silang sakit.
Para yung iba makabinitin at magamit nila yung mga kailangan nilang magamit.
However, some drugstores in Bambang, Manila still don't have stocks of paracetamol.
Anong nakakaraan po? Marami pong bibili.
But the DTI said manufacturers might not have delivered yet due to the sudden increase in demand this past few weeks. For News 5, JC Cosico, we are One News.
The Transportation Department defends its no vaccine, no ride policy. Criticism that it's anti-poor. Some have pointed out that the measure affects poorer unvaccinated people who rely on public transportation. But on One News' The Chiefs, Undersecretary Rainier Yebra said this criticism is fallacious, saying that the policy grants exemptions regardless of social class. Yebra notes that the unvaccinated can still be allowed to travel as long as their purpose is justified.
Ito po ay actually pinoprotektahan pa nga po yung mga hindi bakunado. So medyo fallacy po yung argument na anti-poor siya sapagkat hindi ho siya absolute restriction. May exceptions po pag justified. And secondly, kung titingnan niyo po yung totality ng objective, gusto ko namin protektahan yung buhay ng mga tao. Kaya mahirap, kaya mayaman, lahat ho kailangan maprotektahan.
Meanwhile, US President Joe Biden's top pandemic medical advisor says COVID-19 won't ever be eradicated. In a press briefing, Dr. Anthony Fauci said that unlike smallpox, COVID-19 is here to stay. However, Fauci emphasized that vaccinations and boosters can help control the virus.
But we ultimately will control it. And if you control it in a way it's at such a low level and people are vaccinated and boosted, sooner or later, as we begin to live with it, what she was referring to is that virtually everybody is going to wind up getting exposed and likely get infected. But if you're vaccinated and if you're boosted, the chances of you getting sick are very, very low.
PVL teams have been beefing up their rosters in preparation for another action-packed conference. Gretchen Ho has the report.
Volleyball fever is starting to heat up as players and teams make the move for the upcoming PVL Open Conference. Perhaps one of the biggest surprises, a former Lady Eagle joining an animal-laden squad. Z Hervasio makes her return to indoor volleyball as an F2 logistics cargo mover.
It's interesting because, syempre, di ba, tayo from Ateneo, it would always be, it's Ateneo Lasal, ganyan-ganyan. But now it's an opportunity to like see it like face to face and experience the whole thing.
Medyo surreal, no? Kasi naalala ko parang, hindi ba dati nagta-trash talk ka din sa Lasal?
Ano naman yung nauna?
Now joining Z in the switch is Shola Alvarez. Aside from learning Coach Ramil De Jesus' system, Z is also excited to play alongside one particular player.
I actually wanna be inside the court with si Chang Abi. I wanna feel her energy.
Longtime Perla spiker Nicole Chanzon, meanwhile, signed up with Petrogas after her club team and Santa Lucia decided to sit out the next conference. But while some teams took a break, the Signal HD Lady Spikers have been busy beefing up their squad. They signed up Maristela Layog, Ces Molina, Glodine Troncoso, Jerry Malabanan, and PVL 2021 best blocker Riri Meneses. For Jerry Lee, this marks her reunion with former FU teammates and coach, Shaq De Los Santos.
You know the term like tough love? Parang ganun si Coach Shaq. He's tough on you, but he really wants all of his players to improve.
Now for Riri, it's all about carrying on her momentum to her new team.
Siguro yung nakaka-excite yung dadating na liga na to kasi halos karamihan din ng team nagre-reshuffle din eh. Excited din ako na makabalik na kami sa training kasi ayoko yung performance ko na biglang bababa ulit.
While expectations are at an all-time high for Signal, Riri and Jerry are more than ready to take on the challenge.
I think everybody po wants to be a champion, so ayun po, mag-champion. Or also just to improve kung ano yung result ng team ng Signal last conference.
The PVL Open Conference is tentatively slated to open next month. Gretchen Ho, We Are One News.
Here's a quick look at some of today's headlines. 28 more areas will be placed under Alert Level 3 due to the surge in COVID-19 infections. Teachers are calling for a 2-week break as more and more educators get the coronavirus. And the knee surgery, Olympic pole vaulter EJ Obiena was a success. And those are the top stories at this hour. Join us again later at 2 p.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com so you can stream One News live anytime and anywhere. I'm Charles Lejano. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.